hanging out here. Third interview that we did with Kevin Root. We did this back in mid-January. Not sure where you're getting this, but held on to it here for a little bit. We're going to talk about what it was like for him as a rookie last year on the Super Dirt Car Series. Of course, he's one of, I don't even, you don't even know how many Sportsman wins you had? Hundreds, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say hundreds, but I mean.
Over 100.
I wouldn't say
Really?
that much, but we were, just successful at it, that's all.
Okay. Obviously, he was driving with Vinny Salerno in the four-star team. New teammate this year, by the way, Anthony Perego, be
Yes,
two-car
sir.
team. So, first of all, how things going?
Things are going good.
How are the cars?
The cars are going good. We're waiting on a new frame right now for the big block car. Our sportsman car is going to be the same, so we'll get into that, I guess. But yeah, we're going good. I should have the frame by the end of the month, so probably take us not that long, a few days to get it together, and we'll be pretty much good to go.
What frames do you guys use?
We're going with, I'm a big now guy. I'm not saying I'm not any other guy, but I've been more successful on my big now stuff.
Okay. Was that a change they made? Or because I remember they were TOs at one time, weren't they?
No, I
always
started
Bicknell?
the year out with the TO, and just for just the uncertainties, I don't know what it was. I'm not saying I think TO makes an amazing car. They've done a great job down there, Matt and Bobby. But I'm more familiar with the Bicknell stuff, and we kind of went that route halfway through the year.
A lot of guys have said it's almost like a pair of sneakers. Whatever's comfortable for you is what's right.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's just a mental thing too.
Yeah. If you like a Troyer, you like a TO, you like a DKM, that's what you run. So, no Florida, you told me.
No, sir.
Why? Just too busy?
Just the cost is pretty high down there, and the place is fast. You're using a lot of motor down there, and
Heard that.
you can really put yourself behind the eight ball if you have a bad trip down in Florida. As far as hurting the motor, hurting the car, it could really set your year back pretty hard. So I'd rather focus on getting my stuff ready right now, getting the other car ready, and I want to be 100% ready by the time March comes. I believe Atomic's gonna be our first race on the series, so we'll just be ready for that.
Okay. And I also heard the surface is somewhat different down there, so you don't learn a heck of a lot.
Yeah, it's tough to take what you learn in Florida and bring it back to what we run on up here. The clay is obviously different. The speeds are a little bit different. The track, holding the ends a little bit different. Kind of do some different things down there than you would up here. Maybe a couple tracks, but for the most part, we've got some slick race tracks up here. Don't get very slick down there. Maybe about one night down in Volusia, and everything else is hammered down.
Okay. What was the biggest thing, some of the biggest things you learned last year?
The competition is just unreal. These guys are so good. I know most of them. I never really ran against all of them, but we got our feet wet, a couple times a year before in the big block. But I thought more than anything was just trying to get used to it at that time. But the competition's tough. The little bit different stuff from the sportsman to the modified, which we can go in that all day long. But the stacking of the springs and different spring combination you can go towards instead of what you're kind of limited at the sportsman ranks what you do. So
You can't stack in the sportsman.
No, you can't stack. You know what I mean. And understanding that a little bit more is kind of taking a toll right now on me. But I got good guys in Scott Jeffries and Vinny Salerno. Scott's been doing shocks forever. With the Integras and the Kaiser, and our program's starting to get better with that. So hopefully good things this year. And with Vinny, with learning with the Swiss springs and everything like that, with Frank even helping us out.
Frank Simonetti.
Possibly doing some testing here, I think, in a couple months with Swift, and try to learn a little bit more that way, and, just keep plugging away, man. It's just, this competition is so tough right now.
Shocks and springs more important than ever, everybody tells me.
Yeah, they are. I think you got to have the race spring combination and you got to have the race shock combination, and get both of them the same way and at the same time is probably the name of the game. But just the competition and learning the springs and the shocks over. Like I said, I leaned on Scott a lot this year for help. Leaned on Vinny more than anything, to help out. You know what I mean? Them guys were great. You know what I mean? But we just myself just got to get better as a driver in a big block.
We're following the series. How about weekly stuff?
Weekly, we're going to do as much Brewerton racing as we can. I don't want to commit 100% to Brewerton, but I love the place, and I think that's what makes or breaks a good driver is being able to drive.
Well, you got a parts truck there, too, so that makes it
tough, we got
right?
our parts place there, and I'd like to help probably Tammy out more there. She's going to be running that for us this year. Oh. So I'll be more, if I'm not there racing, I'll be there at the parts trailer, but I want to be racing because you can't race one night a week and expect to race against Matt, Stewie, Matty Williamson, Billy Decker, all them guys and beat them. So you got to race as much as you can, but, obviously it takes a toll and it takes a cost too, so we'll play that by ear, but definitely Canada was going to be my home track, along with
Not just you, right?
not just me, Nicholas, my son, who I'm super excited this year to see what he can do, and I'm glad he finally wants to race. I've been trying to push him to race, but I also at the same time wanted him to do it on his own, and not me have to push him to do
Yeah,
it.
don't want to be like
So,
going to the dentist's office or something.
yeah, I thought we had a successful end of the year with him racing, so we're gonna try to go as hardcore as we can with him, as much as he can, and obviously depending on how comfortable he is.
He went 14th to 3rd in the novice race at Fulton on Outlaw Weekend.
Yeah.
You can just tell by the smile on Kevin's
Yeah.
face how proud he is. You told me
Super
you
proud.
weren't necessarily surprised, though.
No, we did some practicing with him at Tyler Murray was driving my stuff and my sportsman stuff, and I had him bring the car up one night so he cycled some tires at Paradise, and believe it or not, Nicholas asked to get in it, and I mean, the first lap.
They're about the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, they're about the same width, but Tyler's a little bit taller.
He
But
is,
yeah,
okay.
Nicholas is getting there with him, yeah. But
Uh-huh.
Nicholas got in at like the first lap, and I was just blown away at how he wasn't scared. He drove it in there. He was very smooth, and like there was actually, and I'm not going to name drivers, but there was a couple drivers that race weekly at Canton David, and he was faster lap times than them guys.
Okay.
And so then we went again and again. So he had like 3 practice sessions. Then we went to an open practice at Fulton, and he was one of the faster cars out of both classes there. And I said, you know what? I felt comfortable enough to just let him go run the novice. And looking at the lap times he ran in the novice class, he was just as good as some of the guys in the bigger class, you know what I mean? But he's got a lot to learn, and I don't want to. I think he's got a good future for it, but I don't want to push him too hard right now. And
Well, school is important. And all
yeah,
that,
well,
so, yeah.
we're trying to tell him school's important. He doesn't seem
Oh,
to
okay.
think so, but
Is he like his dad in that aspect?
yes, he's
Okay.
definitely like his dad. His mom's she's definitely got a lot more stuff control than we have. So, but I'm super excited for him. He's been working on the car. He goes in there every night with me. He works on the car.
Which is big because a lot of the kids don't want to, from what I understand.
You know, I mean, he knows that if he doesn't work on it, he's not racing it. I mean,
Okay.
that's just my theory on the way racing should be with these kids. And everybody has their own theory, but you don't learn without working on it.
And one thing he can now share with his mom is his first laps were at Paradise, just like his mom.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, his grandfather is a very well-known
Steve Pizarnik.
Steve Pizarnik. We call him Mr. Pro Stocks, and just one of the most amazing guys you'll ever meet in your life. And he started racing, and Krista, obviously, she was very good at it.
Youth
you know
pure
what I mean?
stock, I remember.
She was a very
With
good
Frank
pure
Burnell.
stock. Yes, she drove a lot of enduro stuff, you know, and pure stock. She was even did some go kart racing when we started go kart racing. She's a very good wheelman.
Yeah, so I'm glad things are
woman.
going well for you. No, that's okay. It's a standard mistake, so
Yes.
don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So, well, I wish you all the best, man. And if you come up with any things, I hope you saw the tech tips and the things we did before. But come up with any more today, just let me know. We'll get them done. Okay, man.
Yes, no, thanks for taking the time, Doug.
You give Krista a hug for me. I always
I
tell
will.
him that. So
I will.
Krista's like a little sister to be her. Cheryl Burley and
Jill.
Jillian Hares
Yep,
were the
yep.
50-50 girls
That
when I
was a
worked
good
for
old
Glenn.
times.
So I used to see them, 100 times a year,
Yep.
easily. So
Still see them all the time.
hit the blue E. That'll subscribe you guys. Let you know every time we're doing something cool. You take care, Kevin. Thank you.
Thanks, man.